today.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? So I know everybody has heard about this. Reports came out late last night, and it looks like this Klitschko versus Joshua fight is in jeopardy. And what I'm hearing right now, at least according to Boxing Scene, and I'm gonna leave that article in the description box, and I'm sure you guys have already seen it, but if you haven't, I'll leave the link in the description box. You can click it, read it, and come to your own surmise about it. But not good news, man. Really not good news. This has not been a good year for the division as far as fights being made, and when fights do get made, for whatever reason, they're canceled, pushed back, or whatever the case, man. And whether it's a Klitschko Fury, Wilder versus Povetkin, and even some of the smaller fights like the Gerald Washington, Oscar Rivas, just a plethora of fights this year, man, that have just gone down the drain. So you can add this one to the list. And from what I'm hearing, according to reports, Wladimir Klitschko wants the WBA, the vacant WBA title, to be involved in this. And he wants to fight, have a unification fight. He wants two belts to be on the line. I'm hearing reports that the pot of gold that was going to be shared between Joshua's team and Klitschko, $36 million. That is a huge pot, man. That is a huge pot, especially for today's standards at the heavyweight division. It's funny, man. Back when Tyson and Holyfield and Bo and Lewis and those guys were fighting in the 90s, I remember Evander and Tyson took home 34 plus million apiece. But for nowadays, though, for guys to just share a $36 million pot is pretty resounding, man. So Klitschko wants the WBA to be involved. The WBA said they might put together a tournament for their title. They already have this bullshit tournament set up, that they gave Freza Kendo a bye in the tournament. Once I saw that in the tournament, it made me scratch my head. Now, the facts are Freza Kendo is rated highly by the WBA. The first fight he had with Chigaev was a very close fight that could have went either way, to be honest with you. So they gave him a bye, and he's been injured for a while, so I'm not sure if he's going to fight Lucas Brown. I know the WBA ordered Brown and Kendo to fight here in a few months, so I haven't seen Kendo since his injury, so I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. Then the Ustinov versus Ortiz fight that just kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. Ustinov, at the end, he didn't want to take VADA testing, so that one fell off. Then you had the Fury and Klitschko shit go on. So to me, it really doesn't make sense for Wladimir Klitschko not to take this fight, because if he doesn't, okay, let's say he doesn't want to take this fight, then he's going to be fighting for one title anyways. So even if the WBA is not involved, $36 million, you're still fighting for a title. I mean, it's not like it's a regular title or an interim title. Why not take the fight? Because if you don't take this fight, then you're going to be fighting, let's say he does fight for that WBA strap. Let's say they have him fight Lucas Brown. Okay, well, it's still just going to be one strap. You're still going to have just one strap. Maybe on paper, maybe the Klitschko team on paper, maybe the, fighting a Lucas Brown for the vacant WBA title, maybe that's a more winnable fight for him, But regardless of that, it's still just going to be for one title, I'm hearing fans, though, they're blaming Joshua for this, and people are coming to my videos. Whenever I made a Klitschko versus Joshua video, a lot of fans were saying, oh, this shit's not going to happen. I'm not going to believe it till it happens. I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, I feel the same way too. But as a fan, though, when you get these fights and they're being talked about, negotiated, and both sides seem as if they're going to get the fight done, you kind of get excited, because we're thirsty for a big one, for a big fight, man. So we want the fight to happen. But I'm hearing fans, say, yeah, I told you Hearn was just throwing names out there. He was full of shit. I told you guys, haha, joke's on you. It's like, okay, cool. That sounds good, but I don't see how you can blame Eddie Hearn for this one. They wanted Pulev initially, right? What did Pulev decide to do? And Pulev is rated I believe Pulev is he rated number? Let me look up his ranking really quick. I believe he's rated number 2 by the IBF. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think the last time I checked, he's rated number 2. He didn't want the fight. He said, "Nah, I want to defend my European title, the one when he fought Chisora. I thought, okay, he wants to defend that title. He doesn't want any of Anthony Joshua right now." He said that. Eddie Hearn didn't make it up. They wanted to give him the fight. He didn't want the fight. So how can you blame Hearn and Joshua for that? Okay, they wanted Stavern. That was the next name. Stavern opted to fight for way less money against Povetkin for interim title. I mean, you have a legit title shot right in front of you. Yes, it's the IBF, but I guess Stavern wants, and Stavern also said that it wasn't enough time to prep for the fight. That's one of the reasons why he didn't take the fight, according to Stavern. But I've seen Stavern, in the gym at the heavyweight factory for months now, just in the gym working out. But hey, that's what he said. I'm going by his word. He said it, wasn't the prep time. But according to Hearn, he was going to make way more money than he is going to fight Povetkin. And it would have been for a title, not an interim title. If you guys want to say, oh, he wants to fight Povetkin so he can, get his revenge on Deontay Wilder. I mean, that's a lot of shit you got to go through to get to one fighter when you have a title shot right in front of you. Okay, so can't blame Eddie Hearn for that. I looked at these rankings, man. Well, Joseph Parker is rated number 1. So I'm curious to see what's going to go on with Parker and the Ruiz fight. When I did the interview with Ruiz, and I still have some parts of that interview I want to drop. So hopefully that fight's still a go. But when I was talking to Andy Ruiz, his team feels as if it's a go with Anthony Joshua for that vacant WBO title. The WBO is having their meetings right now. So hopefully after all these meetings are done and we can, figure out what's going to go on with this WBO title and Ruiz and Parker. But hell, it could be Joshua versus Parker for the IBF next month. I mean, who really knows at this point, man? But Parker's number 1. But I was looking at, Takem's number 6. David Hayes number 3. But Hay isn't going to fight Anthony Joshua. Not right now, at least he's not. He's looking at December 10th against somebody who he claims will be a solid opponent. That's what he said from his words, okay? I'm looking at the IBF rankings. No matter who he fights, a lot of fans are going to think these guys are bums. They're going to think the rest of these guys are bums. Duapa's number 4. I can hear it already. People want to say Duapa's a bum. I don't think he's a bum, but a lot of you will. Because just conversing with you guys, Jarrell Miller's number 9. I already know what you're going to say about Jarrell Miller. He's a fat bum. David Price is number 12. I already know what you're going to say. He doesn't have a chin. He's a bum. Derek Chisora is number 11. I already know what you're going to say. He's a bum. Right? Plus Chisora is, I think he's going to get a fight with Dillian White in December. Fingers crossed on that one. But it's a lose-lose, man. And Andrew Ruiz rated number 5 by the IBF. But I already know what you guys are going to say. He's a bum. He's fat. He's a bum. So for some of you guys out there, you're not going to be satisfied regardless of who he fights. You're going to say it's Eddie Hearn's fault, and whoever they fight, they're a bum. Some of you guys, man, you back yourself into a corner a little bit, man, to where every fight this guy has is going to be against a bum, according to you. So I don't know, man. I mean, I really wanted the Klitschko fight. If you want to say it was too good to be true, I wouldn't take it that far. I just think Klitschko wants a lot. I mean, he wants the WBA to be involved. I mean, to me, and to Klitschko, I can understand it's not about the money, but this is a huge purse, though, man, for them to split. And I don't know, man. I just don't see why he is so committed to just wanting this WBA title to be involved. I understand you want to get 2 belts, but if it can't happen, man, the shit just can't happen. Taking another fight against somebody else for either no belts or maybe the vacant, one of these vacant straps, okay, that might happen, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens here in a few days, man. But right now, I mean, shit, I'm pissed off like everybody else. But I'm not going to blame Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn. I know people don't like Hearn. They don't like Joshua. And that's cool. You don't have to like them. But I don't see how you can blame them when they want to fight the guy. Whether it's just the IBF involved or the WBA is involved also, they just want to fight with the guy. So we have to see what goes on because Parker being able to fight Ruiz had a lot, and this was according to Dean Lonergan of Ducal Events, Parker's promoter, when he was breaking down the things that have to happen for Ruiz versus Parker. He said Joshua has to sign off to fight somebody else first because they're the mandatory for that IBF title. So, like I said, we may end up seeing Joshua Parker. You know, this shit may flip flop. We may see Ruiz versus Klitschko, or I really don't know, man. So for me to speculate, I'm done speculating. I'm just going to sit back, wait for whatever the official word is, and even when the official word is given out, I'm still not going to believe that really until the bell rings on fight night. I'm just kind of fed up, man, with a lot of the bullshit, man. But just want to get this out there. People ask me my opinion about it. I'm pissed off. How can we, how can anybody, even if you're a casual heavyweight fan, how can you be happy about this? Klitschko, I believe, should just fight him anyways, regardless. Even, if the WBA is not involved, okay, it's not involved. You're still going to win back one of your straps. I don't see what the commitment is to wanting the WBA to be involved. But just my opinion, man. I'm out.